All right, homework. X-3 unit rates. It's got the raining cats down here and dogs, I guess. All right, let's take a look, see, complete the table, then use this graph to answer the following. So right now I want to focus in over here, and I want to focus here because this is a completed ratio. I can see if I divide by 4 to get 1, I can divide 16 by 4 to get $4 in cost. And then let's see here, what's the simplest way to attack this? I'm looking here, I'm looking if there's any, well, maybe going from 1 to 3. 1 times 3 will be 3, so 4 times 3 should be $12. And then, oh, this is nice, I can go from $12 to $3 by dividing by 4. 3 divided by 4 is 3/4. I could leave that as a fraction. I could write it as a decimal. And then to go from, oh boy, none of these look that easy to work with, so I'm going to come over here and go 4 divided by 4 is $1. 1 divided by 4 is 1/4 a gallon of milk. You could write it as a decimal. It does not matter because the directions don't specify that it has to be in decimal form. So what's the unit price of milk per gallon? This tells me out of 1 gallon. So I'm going to go up to my table. 1 gallon, this is $4 per gallon. How much does 3 gallons of milk cost? Gallons of milk, 3, it costs $12. How much milk can be purchased for $1? Do I have that cost? Well, I get 1/4 of a gallon. Could be in decimal form, doesn't matter. How much milk can be purchased for $3? $3, 3/4 of a gallon. And again, it could be in decimal form. Number 2. Complete the following questions using the information that at the local kennel there are 6 cats for every 15 dogs. Express the number of dogs to the number of cats. So they've changed the order here. They gave me 6 cats for every 15 dogs. And they're asking for dogs to cats. So that's a big fat error alert. A lot of times questions will do that and kind of lull you into the sense of it's going to be so simple. So they want dogs to cats. So that would be 15 to 6. Simplest whole number ratio means that they don't share any factors. I can divide each of these by 3. So that would be 5 to 2. Write this ratio as the unit of dogs to cats. Again, this is an order change. So I want 15, well, I guess I could go back to 5, but I'll start with 15 dogs for every 6 cats. And I'm changing that into out of 1 cat because cats is second. So this is going to be my 1. I'm dividing by 6. 15 divided by 6 dogs will be 2 wholes, 3 6, so it's 2.5 dogs. So there's 2.5 dogs for every 1 cat. And that's really what C is asking for. What does it mean? This is really looking for that sentence we've been writing. For every 2.5 dogs, there is 1 cat. Or you could have written, there is 1 cat for every 2.5 dogs. I'll flip it over. Ooh, goody. Oh, pigs and chickens is my favorite. Find 2 unit rates when there are 16 pigs for every 12 chickens. So I'm going to do this in table form. Chickens, because that pulls my labels out to the front, allows me just to work with the numbers. 16 to 12 would be the same as 8 to 6. 4 to 3 is my simplest whole number ratio. That's going to be the simplest for me to go and find those rates. So I want 1 for pigs and 1 for chickens. Here I'm dividing by 4. There's 3/4 of a chicken for every pig. there's 4/3 or 1 1/3 pigs for every chicken. So I'm going to write that out in sentence form. There is 3/4 chickens for every 1 pig. There are 1 1/3 pigs for every 1 chicken. Oh, goody, goody, goody. A bag of marbles contains 7 red marbles, 18 blue marbles, and 36 orange marbles. Use this information to answer problems 3 and 4. You're not required to use the table, but it may help you to determine your answers. So we're doing red to blue. It doesn't seem like they care about orange. That just might be extra information. So the order is red to blue as a unit ratio, which means, ooh, decimal form rounded to 2 decimal places. This is going to be ugly. Blue comes second. So blue is going to have that idea of 1 in this case because of the way they've listed the directions. So I'm going to put a 1 here. Oh boy. Yeah, you're dividing by 18. 7 divided by 18. And it says rounded to 2 decimal places. So I'm going to need 3 decimal places in order to round. 18 is close to 20. 20 would go into this 3 times evenly. So let's check 3. 24, 54, regroup, and it worked out because my difference is smaller than my divisor. Bring down a 0. I think 7 might be too high, but it's worth a shot. Let's try that. 56. Well, maybe not. It might be too low. Oh yeah, that's way too low. Let's increase that one. Let's try 8. 64. Group the 6. 14. That one's looking better. Regroup. I get a 6. Okay. Bring down a 0. Ooh, goody. I know what that's going to be. It's going to be an 8. I don't even need to subtract it at this point because I'm rounding to 2 decimal places. So I know that this is going to be 0.3 or approximately 39/100 red marbles for every 1 blue marble. A fraction in simplest form. So it's going back to that red marbles to blue. Well, it's already not sharing any factors here, so it is just 7 to 18. The simplest whole number ratio, well, that's just 7 to 18, and I don't have to use a colon in order to do that. And now I want to do it as a percent, so I'm going to come back up here to the unit ratio. I know that, well, I guess I can do it in the table first. I'm going to come back up here and really utilize this because blue is second, so that's going to be our 100%. I'm multiplying by 100, so this is going to be 39%. So the sentence I would write here is, the number of red marbles is 39% of the number of blue marbles, meaning that it's lower and it's less than 50% of blue marbles. Okay, now looking at number 4, express the number of red marbles to total marbles. Oh, this is tricky because here I was ignoring orange, but I need to come back up here and think about the total. Ooh, that is tricky. So this is 14, 21, 61. Let me check that. So 15, 21, regroup the 2, 3, 6. 61 total marbles. Ooh, that is a disgusting number. All right, so we're doing red to total, which is 7 to 61. a unit rate, so I need to make that 61 out of 1. So 7 divided by 61, rounded to 2 decimal places, so I'm going to need, oopsie, I'm going to need 3 decimal places. Well, the good news is that's only going into there evenly once. Once again. That's a 9 and a 2. Let's see here, a 4, most likely. So let me check that, make sure I have the right number there. So that's an 8. That's smaller than that, so I know this is the correct one so that I can round it. I'm going to come back up here and fill in the table. So this is a 1, making the red marbles approximately 11/100ths, or a very small amount of the whole. So the unit ratio is there are 11/100ths red marbles for every 1 marble. A fraction in simplest form is going to be 7 to 61. The simplest whole number ratio is still the same. I could write it as a fraction, and then as a percent, the good news is we already have it out of 1. So really it's 11% of all marbles are red. Hopefully that helps everybody talking through it. I certainly do make mistakes along the way, but it's always interesting and fun. If you find a mistake, see me for a Roar coupon.